Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. Hosting a successful Invisalign Day through ground marketing. So this is not just an event. It's a controlled patient acquisition machine. If done right, it's beautiful. Now, what is an Invisalign Day really? So an Invisalign Day isn't just a promotion. It's a strategic, time-sensitive patient acquisition engine. Done right, it creates urgency, builds trust, and converts curiosity into clear aligner cases in one afternoon. At its core, it's a single-day event where your practice offers exclusive incentives for patients to begin Invisalign treatment, but only if they book or start that day. So it's not about gimmicks. It's about creating a controlled environment where education meets emotion and action. Think of it like this. Black Friday meets Smile Makeover, except it's driven by relationship rebates. So here's the real problem with Invisalign Days. Why most Invisalign Days fail quietly. Most Invisalign Days die of marketing malnutrition. The average practice promotes it like this. There's a flyer at the front desk that maybe no one reads, doesn't grab any attention, passive emails to their list, no one opens it, a lot of it goes to junk or spam. And then there's social media posts, right? Instagram posts, Facebook posts, things like that the algorithm buries. Then what? The doctor blocks off the schedule, buys balloons, and waits while the team hopes walk-ins will magically show up. But that's not a campaign. That's just wishful thinking. What actually works is ground marketing. If you want real results, patients in chairs, scans on screens, cases closed, you need a method that, number one, bypasses the algorithm, two, doesn't rely on your existing patient base, and three, builds buzz in the real world where trust is formed face to face. That's why ground marketing works. It's high touch, in-person outreach that uses strategy, psychology, and community positioning to generate high intent leads fast. So you're not pitching Invisalign. You're inviting the right people to an exclusive, limited time experience that feels more like a VIP reveal than a sales event. Now, here's why this approach wins. Number one, it creates emotional urgency, not transactional pressure. Two, it shifts the narrative from we want patients to we're offering something valuable. Do you want in? And three, it positions your practice as a local authority, someone people know, trust, and want to share. When ground marketing is done right, your Invisalign Day isn't a date on the calendar. It becomes a movement in your community. So let's dive into it. Let's discuss tactics for driving patient signups with ground marketing. Here, the mindset is you're no longer asking. You're offering access to something others don't know about yet. And the sign-up sheet is the gatekeeper. So have a sign-up sheet ready, something tangible, physical that you can hand. Now, number one, you want to build buzz, right? Build the momentum. Start doing this 2 weeks before. And that's the pre-frame strategy. Now, you can do it a month before. If you're like, we're going to do an Invisalign Day 4 weeks from now, you can. And you'll feel a little bit more strategic with it 4 weeks before. But also keep in mind the patient or the potential new patients. If they start hearing about it 4 weeks before, 3 weeks before, it might slip their mind later on. So 2 weeks before is a good way to keep your practice and your Invisalign Day fresh in the potential patient's mind. But at the same time, it will require you to hit the ground running pretty hard and pretty fast. So I recommend you build buzz 2 weeks before. And this is called the pre-frame strategy. Now, ground marketing isn't just about the day of the event. It's the weeks leading up to it that matter the most. So where to go? You can go to a lot of locations. You can go to high-end salons. The audience there, they're appearance-conscious clients. They trust their stylists. And high-end salons work because salons are built on referrals and images. This lets them feel like tastemakers by offering a VIP opportunity. You can also go to fitness studios. The audience there, are health-driven, appearance-minded, and goal-oriented individuals. It works because you're offering this perk and it aligns the studio with total wellness, body and smile. The next place you can go is coffee shops. The audience there are locals, remote workers, curious minds. And why it works? Well, coffee shops thrive on word of mouth and a sense of local culture. This adds value to their loyal crowd. Another spot you can go to is real estate offices. The audience there, high trust, brand conscious professionals. Why it works? Well, real estate professionals love being seen as connected and in the know, and this boosts their image with their own team and clients. And then finally, you can go to teacher lounges. The audience there is trusted, tight-knit, time-constrained professionals with dental benefits. And why it works? Well, this feels like a thank you to teachers while giving them first access to something helpful and aesthetic. So that's what you want to think about first, is the businesses, the locations that you're going to go visit. Now, the promote their business script. This is used across all locations. This is how you want to utilize this script when going out, ground marketing, and inviting people to your Invisalign Day. Okay? So you're going to the businesses, you're going to the locations, and you want to remember, you want to be casual, conversational, and reciprocity driven. This is how it starts. Hey, I wanted to see if I could feature your business in something really special we're doing locally. We're hosting a small invite-only Invisalign Smile event in a couple weeks. And instead of doing the usual ads or social media push, we're handpicking a few standout local businesses to partner with. Now, we're only featuring places that truly represent style, trust, and strong community vibes. And honestly, your place immediately came to mind. And then you pause and wait for a response. They're going to be grateful. They're going to love it. They're going to say, yeah, definitely. What do you have in mind? Oh, awesome. Thank you for thinking of us, and so forth. Once they give you a response, you say, yeah. Oh, awesome. Wonderful. If any of your clients or team members are curious, I can just leave a little VIP sign-up sheet here for a few days, if that's okay. They'll get a free smile scan, whitening, and they get to see a 3D preview of their future smile. It's no pressure at all. It's just a fun way for us to spotlight some of the best local spots while giving your people early VIP access. And then you wait for a response. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, leave the sign-up sheet here. Beautiful. Perfect. I'd love to sign up, they'll say. And you say, wonderful. We'll give your business a shout out too, definitely. Something like this month's featured community partner is, boom. What do you think about that? And then they'll let you know, like, yeah, we love that. Perfect. Tag us on social media, whatever, right? Now you're kind of like co-hosting this Invisalign Day. Now they have your backing. But at the same time, notice how you didn't walk in there and say, hey, we'd like to invite you to our Invisalign Day. No, you're walking in there first saying reciprocity driven, and you're asking them for their information. You're asking them to participate because you're saying, we'd love to feature you. Can we have some of your information? We'll put it in the hygiene kits, or we'll put it in a flyer or a support flyer, something like that. When the Invisalign people come in, that's invite only. They'll see your business. They'll see your information. They'll love it. And they may want to participate more. For example, if you do coffee shops, they may want to give you some free vouchers for that, or maybe even provide coffee for your Invisalign Day, making it even better and more important. But the key here is you're dropping off a sign-up sheet so that the clients, their customers, their team members, and even them can sign up and go to your Invisalign Day. Awesome, huh? Now, why this works? Their business gets visibility. You're letting them know, hey, we'll let people know they got in through you, or you're just letting them know their business gets visibility. Notice how there was no sales feel in that whole script. You're not promoting yourself. You're letting them pass on an exclusive hookup. Another way, it's built in reciprocity. You're giving before asking. You're making them naturally want to support your practice in return. And then it creates social proof. They now appear to be connected to a valuable opportunity not everyone knows about. Pretty awesome, huh? Now, here's an optional thing you can add on in the script for even more buy-in. You can say, if you'd like, I can even shout out your business in our patient newsletter or on our Instagram post the week of the event. And then kind of like let them know. We'd love to say like, hey, shout out to Pilates Studio for helping spread the love just as a thank you, right? And then you let them know. Because now they don't know that you have one patient or a million patients. They don't know how far reaching your Facebook or your social media is. They're just happy you're promoting them. So they'd love that. And now their buy-in is a little bit stronger. Now, what to leave behind? Here's a couple things we want to leave behind. You do the script, Cool, awesome. You're leaving behind the main thing, a sign up sheet. Now, the sign up sheet on the header, being the very top, you want to have one of these things on the header. Okay. Primarily, you want to word it like this. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just copy and paste it literally. But the header should say their business name chose you. So let's just say Pilates Studio. Pilates Studio chose you. Get a free smile preview plus whitening. And then below in smaller letters, you can put free whitening plus free smile scan, 20 spots only, sign below. Then literally have 20 spots. Here's another option. You can put Invisalign Smile Day by invitation only. And then in parentheses, thanks to, and then the business name, thanks to Pilates Studio. And then below that in small letters, free whitening plus smile scan, fill out the information, reserve your spot. The next one, VIP Smile Preview dash their business name. So Pilates Studio unlocked it just for you. So I'm going to say that one again. VIP Smile Preview, Pilates Studio unlocked it for you. And that's it. And then below that, you can say, this isn't open to the public. You're on the inside. The way you want it to look is name, first and last name, phone number, best time to reach you at, because you can text or call. And if you like, if there's still space, you can put text or call and they can just circle one. Then you can add on the bottom of the sign up sheet, this one's just for, and then the business name, right? This one's just for Pilates Studio staff. This one's just for Pilates Studio customers. That's it. Although you're going to be doing this with other businesses, you know that sign up sheet is just for, and make sure you add that in there somewhere because that creates like, oh snap, this is just for the team. We got to sign up. And it makes them feel very, very important. So that's how the sign up sheet wants to look. Okay. Now, number 2, you want to create psychological urgency. That means scarcity plus exclusivity plus reciprocity. This isn't about offering a deal. It's about activating deep psychological drivers that compel people to act now, not later. You're not running a special. You're unlocking an experience that feels too limited, too valuable, and too insider to miss. Now, the 3 psychological levers you're pulling is number 1, scarcity. That means there's not enough to go around. So you're going to mention only 20 VIP spots available. It triggers FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So there's limited slots and that creates a perceived race. They're like, I got to hurry up and sign up. And a tip here is when presenting this in person, hold the clipboard close, gesture toward the few blank lines left and say, hey, we're about halfway full. Want me to save you a spot before we wrap it up this week? So when you go back, let's just say you drop it off on Monday the 1st, and you go back the following week, that means you only have a week left. And you see, hey, not all 20 people signed up, but you see about 10 people signed up. Beautiful, awesome. But mention that, hey, oh, wow, we're about halfway full. Do you want me to save you a spot before we wrap it up this week? Or if you go and you notice there's only 1 or 2 signups there, say the same thing, but let them know other people have signed up in other specific businesses. We're about halfway full. We're almost there. Do you want me to save you a spot before we wrap it up this week? And you're talking to the person just in case you haven't seen their name on the sign-up sheet. Okay? So that's scarcity. 2 is exclusivity. This isn't for everyone. That's what that means. So we're only inviting a few hand-picked local businesses we love. There's no mass emails or ads. What this triggers is belonging plus pride. People want to feel like they're a part of something others don't even know about. So a tip here is mention that their business made the list. We picked just a handful of places to share this with, and you guys were one of them. We love you guys. Stronger ties. It brings exclusivity. And then 3, reciprocity. This is a gift, not a grab. So you mentioned, hey, free teeth whitening plus digital Invisalign smile preview. It's normally a $500 value. Now this triggers like, hey, they need to return a favor. So when you give first, people want to say yes. Make sure you emphasize the no strings type of feel. So it's not a sales thing. We just like to give people a chance to see what's possible. That's personally the line I use a lot. Hey, it's not a sales thing. We're not being salesy or anything like that. We just like to give people a chance to see what's possible. That's it. And then boom, they feel like, okay, cool. Let's make it happen. Now, there's emotional layers to this. You want to add comfort plus celebration. You can let them know, yeah, we'll have light snacks, drinks, and it's just a laid back, casual atmosphere. There'll be mimosas, fruit, music. It's just chill. No pressure. When you say it like that with that tone, it triggers safety plus experience association. This is not a cold consult. It's a mini event that feels like a treat for them. Here's the tip. Use sensory language in person. You can let them know like, hey, yeah, picture a little charcuterie, a smile scan, and a chance to see yourself with the perfect smile. There's no pressure. It's just fun like that, right? That's what you want to use. Get them already in the experience without them being at the event yet. You're not selling Invisalign. You're offering early VIP access to an invite-only event that rewards curiosity, feels like a celebration, and makes people feel seen, spoiled, and smart for saying yes. If you want all the strategies, everything that revolves around ground marketing, you want to learn how to get into apartments, corporations, senior homes, daycare, schools, restaurants, hotels, spas, gyms, every single location you can think of, and we continue to add into it, by the way, this course, then definitely join the ground marketing course. I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes below. You can go ahead and check it out, see everything that you can learn, gain, and at the same time, how it can improve your practice and your life. Not only will you attract new patients immediately, but also you'll be known as the go-to practice in your community. But if you want to learn all that, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. It's the ground marketing course. Go ahead and join it, and I look forward to seeing you in there. Now, in-office script training for conversion. So let's just say, boom, people came in, 20 spots filled, easy breezy, the schedule's packed. So you've done the hard part. You earned attention and interest through ground marketing. Now, do not drop the ball. This is where most practices fail. The front desk fumbles the pass. What's needed is not just a script, but a confidence-boosting, high-converting rhythm that removes resistance and turns curiosity into commitment. Now, I'm going to give you a script, but the goal of this script flow is to move fast while building trust, reduce decision fatigue. So don't let them say, let me think about it, none of that stuff. Shift the offer from appointment to experience and make patients feel like they're winning, not booking, okay? Now, this is what we call the 4-line conversion flow. It's the yes funnel, basically, the 4-line conversion flow. Every front desk team member should memorize this rhythm. Number 1, create scarcity plus give control. So it's going to sound something like, let's make sure you get one of the remaining spots before they're gone. Mornings or afternoons, which one's better for you? This works because it puts the patient in control while triggering urgency. The psychological side behind this is people respond faster when asked to choose between 2 options versus open-ended, like, hey, would you like to schedule? That's way too broad. So I'm going to say that part again, the script. Let's make sure you get one of the remaining spots before they're gone. Would mornings or afternoons work better for you? That's it. Just give them 2 options. That's number 1. 2, build curiosity without commitment. It's going to sound like this. Yeah, we're going to do a 3D scan so you can actually see what your smile will look like before you decide anything. You're building curiosity without commitment. And it works because it turns the appointment into a reveal, not a sales pitch. And the psychological side is visualization reduces skepticism and activates the imagination. So always have that in mind, even if you're not even doing an Invisalign day. That's just great knowledge to know, is visualization reduces skepticism and activates the imagination. They start imagining not just their smile, but they may go home and start thinking, how will I look here at this event? Or how will I look at work? Or how will my date go? Or all these things with this new smile. How will my life be with this new smile? Let them dwell with their imagination on that. So this was a strong one. Build curiosity without commitment. I'll say the script again. We'll do a 3D scan so you can actually see what your smile will look like before you decide anything. Boom. Number 3, in this flow is add no strings value. It's going to sound like this. Plus, you get a free whitening just for coming in, whether you do anything else or not. And that's it. It works because it reduces risk and increases perceived value. And the psychological side is reciprocity bias kicks in. People feel grateful and more likely to follow through. There's no strings attached. And finally, number 4, lock it in with affirmation. You're going to say, I got you down for a day and time, and you're going to love seeing your before and after. It's one of our favorite parts. That's it. That's all you're going to say. And it works because it confirms the value of what they just agreed to. And the psychological side is it ends with positive affirmation that validates their choice. That's awesome, huh? And a bonus layer for the pre-warm call strategy you can add is when calling ground marketing leads, right, who wrote their name on the sheet, you can say, hi, your name, right? This is Michael from the dental practice, and you signed up at the location, right? Pilates studio for our Smile Preview Day. Just wanted to personally hold one of the last spots for you before they're gone. We're doing free whining and 3D smile scans, super laid back, no pressure. Are mornings or afternoons better for you? And then you go through the flow, right? The 4 steps flow. But notice the intro. You're introducing yourself. You're letting them know of a location that they are familiar with, where they signed up. So they immediately, boom, I know who you are. I know why I signed up. And then you're letting them know the urgency, scarcity, and exclusivity right at the beginning. Hey, I just wanted to personally hold one of the last spots for you before they're gone. Beautiful line. Okay. Now you want to track this, right? Track the ones who come in. And one of the softwares we like to use is CallRail, tracking number dedicated solely to this campaign. You can track with CallRail basically anything, but you can track lead sources performance by location, monitor call quality and booking rates for training, get to know how the flow of this works. Now, final must-haves for training. You want to role play the script weekly so the flow can feel like a flow. Even if you only do it 10 minutes on a Monday, role play it weekly. And then create a small cheat sheet at the front desk with the 4-line yes funnel, right? The 4-line framework. And record and review calls from this campaign weekly to refine tone and phrasing. So the script, those are the bones. You know exactly how it sounds. You just heard me say it, but you are going to add your own tone, your own pausing, your own points according to your community and locations. And that's what's going to close it. Okay. Now, in the ground marketing course, I do have this part right here, the text follow-up scripts for leads from sign-up sheets. So in case you want to follow up with them and text them, I also do have the email follow-up scripts in case you want to email them. And then I also do have the email follow-ups for no-show. So let's just say they did and they decided to no-show. Don't just leave that on the table. I got you covered in the ground marketing course. You just copy and paste it and you'll know exactly what to do. And I have the sequence too for follow-up for new signups who have not booked yet. So you're trying to get them in the schedule. They signed up. They haven't booked yet. I got your sequence, when to send those texts, how often to send them, what to say in them, all that stuff. No thinking involved, just copy, paste, and send it out. And then I also have the sequence for follow-up for no-shows for non-responders. So let's just say they no-showed. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? Continue the sequence for that as well. How often should you send a text and so forth? So all that stuff, let's just say you're trying to follow up to get them booked for Invisalign Day and you want to send them text messages and emails. I got you covered for that. All the scripts. Or let's just say your Invisalign Day came and went and you had scheduled 30 people, but only 20 showed up. How are you going to follow up with those 10 no-shows who did not show up? I got you covered with the scripts and the emails and the texts and how often and the sequence for that, what you should do to get them in. So that's all in the ground marketing course. And like I always say, you can go in the show notes, click on the first link in the show notes below to enroll into the ground marketing course. And I'd love to see you in there. But as we continue, number 4 in Invisalign Day, you want to set the scene the day of. So the day shouldn't feel like dentistry. It should feel like discovery, like transformation, like a VIP invite-only event that your parents stumbled into and now feel grateful to be a part of. And your job is to curate that experience from the parking lot to the final smile scan. The psychology of the environment. Okay, we're going to discuss this. Patients don't commit based on logic. They commit based on emotion plus environment. The more it feels like a celebration, not a pitch, the easier the yes. So when the environment screams, hey, you're important. Hey, this is exclusive. Hey, this is low pressure and exciting. Conversion becomes natural, not force. So what to prepare? And we're going to discuss this down to the details. Number 1, a branded printed schedule. And display the day's schedule visibly at the front desk. Include guests' first names and time slots. This looks professional and signals demand. And it lets people know, hey, this is limited. People are coming. I got to take this seriously. That's number 1. Number 2, bold signage and entrance energy. Use professional foam board signage or retractable banners, not cheap paper taped to glass, right? Don't do that. And a sign at the entrance: Smile Preview Day, VIP entry only. You're in. Let's make it worth it. That's it. And then add subtle scents like citrus diffusers or fresh mint. I love it when they add fresh mint. This activates sensory memory. Okay. 3, curated welcome table. So your table, it can be a mimosa bar, non-alcoholic or sparkling cider, fruit, cheese, pastry bites, branded napkins or water bottles with your practice name. Staff member posted at the table to greet each patient by name. Hey, we've been expecting you, person's name. Excited to show you your future smile. Now, one thing I recommend is, this is where you got to be on it, is have your bubbly member. Everybody's going to be bubbly that day, but have that bubbly member at the booth, because this is an event. So you want them to be at the booth, creating conversation. No one should feel like they're having a dull moment in your practice. That person should have high hospitality. High hospitality. I don't know if you read the book, Unreasonable Hospitality. That's what they should be displaying. Unreasonable hospitality that day. You're disarming resistance. You're increasing trust. That's what you want to do. They're at an event. Although it's at your practice, they're going to be there, and you want them to display unreasonable hospitality to your guests. Number 4, visual proof and emotional anchors. So display large before and after photo boards around the operatory or waiting room. Feature real cases from your office, no stock photos, and keep a smile book patients can flip through while waiting. Number 5, a mirror selfie station with branding. So have a ring light or a handheld mirror or small background sign that says, hey, the before shot, and then have like Smile Preview Day at your practice name, right? Now, optional, you can place a few props, white coats, Invisalign aligners, branded glasses, and staff invites patients to take a selfie before the scan. This builds anticipation. So this is almost like obligatory, right? They have to do this. Hey, take a selfie before the scan. People say yes to a transformation when they can see the before and imagine the after. That's what you want them to have. And in the video, here's a little picture. And in the ground marketing course, I show you a picture as well on how this can look. Now, team briefing, this is non-negotiable. Before your doors open, you want to run a 10-minute all-team huddle or a 30-minute, but make sure you do a team briefing. Every team member must know, number 1, the offer. So it's a free smile scan, free whitening, no obligation. The 2, the goal, 15 plus scans, at least 8 same-day starts, 100% show rate. That's the goal, okay? So you have to have a goal. 3, the psychology. This is not a day to inform. This is a day to inspire. Make it feel like a party. Smile, engage, compliment. Make every patient feel like this is their moment, okay? That's the psychology behind it. This is huge. In your team briefing, have that. What is the psychology we want every single patient to feel when they come in here? Boom. Then you can say it, right? And then finally, the flow. In your team briefing, you want to discuss the flow. Who's greeting, who's scanning, who's reviewing, who's presenting. Every handoff must feel seamless. Now, some bonus small touches that you can add is Spotify playlist, right? Make it custom, upbeat, not clinical. Printed name tags with handwritten first names, and a framed sign near scanner, right? The first step to your future smile starts here. So have something like that, right? It makes it easier for the new potential patients. You're not setting the scene for a dental visit. You're staging a limited, luxurious, emotionally elevated moment of transformation. When done right, patients don't just say yes, they thank you for inviting them. So it's perfect. It's beautiful. And then the follow-up system. Let's just say they got in there, they did everything. You want to follow up with them, okay? So do not drop the ball with follow-ups. Remember how we discussed there's a whole episode on how to follow up, but do not drop the ball. If you don't follow up within 24 hours, you've already lost half your leads. If you follow up the same way with everyone, you'll lose the other half, okay? Following up, let's just say they're excited, they come home with their smile scans, they're looking at it, follow up with them. And this is where most offices fail because they send one generic thanks for coming in email and that's it. They treat all the leads the same and they forget that emotion fades quickly and decision-making gets cold. So the goal of follow-up isn't to remind, it's to reignite the emotional spark they felt during the event. It's before logic talks them out of it. Oh, you know what? No, I have to travel. Oh, you know what? I have to save up for this. Oh, no. All that stuff, you don't want that to talk to them. You want to reignite the emotional spark. And in the ground marketing course, I break it all down on how to do a proper follow up on your Invisalign day and after your Invisalign day. We talk about step 1, segment your leads immediately. Step 2, behavior based follow up sequences. And here I'd show you the exact follow up sequence you should utilize, why it works, and the script, what you need to text. So it's day 1, what you need to text, day 3, what you need to text, day 5, what you need to text, and then you can do an optional follow-up kind of a thing if they still haven't followed up with you. I talked to you about the language. I talked to you what to follow up with when there's no shows. I talked to you about what to do when someone was interested, but they didn't schedule, right? And so much more. So make sure you look into that in the ground marketing course. It's going to be under this section, the Invisalign Day, and you can just scroll down exactly what I'm doing right now. And then you can find the scripts on how to follow up the sequence and just copy and paste. And I got you covered. Now, you do want to track all of this, right? It's so important you track the leads generated, the show up rate, the cases that start within 30 days, and the cost per acquisition. And finally, you want to track the referral ripple effect. And you want to repeat this quarterly. Try to do an Invisalign Day quarterly. And it improves every single time. And it will only improve every single time if you track it, okay? So make sure you track these 5 critical metrics, because if you can't track it, you can't grow it. And if you don't track it right, you'll waste time repeating what only felt like it worked. Your goal is not just to fill a day. Your goal is to turn every Invisalign Day into a predictable profit engine, one that your team can run again and again with better results each time. So we can remember, these are the 5 things you're going to track. Number 1, the leads generated per drop location. So how many unique names did we collect from each outreach point? 2, show up rate, interest versus action. Of those who booked, how many actually came? 3, case starts within 30 days. The real outcome. Who actually said yes and began treatment? Track every lead for 30 days after the event. This is your true conversion rate, the only number that pays your bills, okay? 4, your CPA, cost per acquisition. So total time plus materials plus event costs divided by new starts. Break this down by location and event. And then 5, your referral ripple effect. Who brought a friend? Who referred someone else after? Track these separately. These are invisible multipliers that most practices miss, okay? And repeat this quarterly to improve each time. So after each event, run a 15-minute debrief with your team. What location gave us the most leads per hour of effort? 2, where did we get the highest show up to start ratio? 3, which leads needed more nurturing? And how can we prep follow-up in advance? And 4, what script, setup, or snack created the best patient energy? You want high energy. So this is a huge one, number 4. You want to turn this into a local tradition almost in your community. So when you run these consistently, these Invisalign days, these clear aligner days, you get number 1, recognition. Oh yeah, they do those small events all the time. My friend went. Beautiful. 2, you want word of mouth momentum. 3, higher show up and start rates every quarter. 4, predictable cash flow from Invisalign cases. And 5, built-in marketing content. You want a ton of pictures, selfies, testimonials every 90 days. You should be receiving and retrieving that built-in marketing content. And the best part, by month 9, your community starts looking forward to it, and your team knows how to run it with military precision. So awesome. I hope this episode gave you a ton to think about, but most importantly, do it. Take action and start your Invisalign Day planning right now. And if you need help, the ground marketing course gives you it all. So if you want, go in the show notes, click on the first link in the show notes below to enroll into the ground marketing course. And not only will you get a plethora of strategies on how to get into specific businesses and locations like senior homes, schools, corporations, all these other spots, but you'll also learn how to do an Invisalign Day properly, and you'll always upgrade, okay? And all the texts and all the follow-up sequences and all the email scripts and all that stuff, is in this unit, in this lesson, in the ground marketing course. So if you enroll and you want to get all that information, just click on this unit and you'll be able to find it there. So thank you so much. I'm excited to see you in the ground marketing course. You're going to see a lot of our members there are already doing fantastic and getting results and getting new patients, but also becoming the go-to practice in their community. So I can't wait for that to happen to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. And in our next episode, we're going to be discussing partnering with local nonprofits. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.